Samantha Josephson was born in Princeton, New Jersey, but grew up around 10 miles away in Robbinsville. Her parents were Seymour and Marcy Josephson. In 2019, Samantha was a senior at the University of South Carolina, where she majored in political science and was planning on graduating later that year. She was a very intelligent and well-driven girl who had also managed to earn herself a full scholarship to attend Drexel University, where she aspired to study international law. She was a member of the Alpha Gamma Delta sorority, and even though she was only 21 years old, had already studied in Barcelona and visited Madrid and Paris during her time at the University of South Carolina. On March the 29th of 2019, Samantha had been out drinking with her friends in Columbia's 5 Point Entertainment District. This is an area located in the heart of downtown Columbia, filled with restaurants and nightclubs, a place very popular with the students of the university. At around 2 a.m, Samantha was at the Bird Dog Bar, but decided that it was getting rather late and maybe it was time to head home. And so, she did what any other young person her age would do. She ordered an Uber. The Uber didn't take too long to arrive, and surveillance from the club would later show that at 2:09 a.m, Samantha was pictured getting into the black Chevrolet Impala. There was just one problem. This was not Samantha's Uber. Instead of the man inside of the car politely pointing out Samantha's mistake to her, he simply allowed her to climb inside his car before driving off into the night. All the while, Samantha was completely oblivious that she had mistaken a complete stranger for her Uber driver, a mistake that would sadly end up costing her her life. The next day, Samantha's roommates woke up to find that Samantha had never arrived back to their shared accommodation. They knew that this was unlike Samantha and felt that something was very wrong. That same day, they reported her missing to the police. It would not take long before Samantha's fate was discovered. Just 14 hours after Samantha had last been seen leaving the club, her lifeless body was found in a field by turkey hunters in the town of New Zion in Clarendon County, around 65 miles away. An autopsy shown that she had suffered a violent death. She had been stabbed over 100 times in the head, neck, upper body, leg and foot. Detectives were now desperate to find Samantha's murderer as quickly as possible so that they did not have the chance to kill again. They visited the last known place where Samantha had been that night, the Bird Dog Bar, and obtained the security footage. It was from this footage that they were able to see for themselves Samantha's last known movements. They watched as Samantha unknowingly climbed into her killer's vehicle and was driven away. Fortunately, they managed to get a very clear image of the car. Witnesses who seen Samantha getting into the car also came forward to offer information. Using all of this information along with the CCTV, they set about trying to track down the owner of the car, a 24-year-old man called Nathaniel Rowland. Around 24 hours later, on the 30th of March, at around 3 a.m, police spotted the same Impala just blocks from 5 Points and tried to pull the vehicle over. This was very worrying, as it meant that he could have been out patrolling for more potential victims, just as he had the night before. Nathaniel got out and fled on foot, but was caught and arrested shortly after. When officers searched his car, they found blood, along with bleach, wet wipes and germicide. They also determined that the child locks in the back of the car had been activated, meaning that Nathaniel had locked Samantha inside to prevent her from escaping. They also found Samantha's rose gold iPhone. From her phone, detectives could see that Samantha had used her mobile to order a lift on the popular Hail a Ride app, but the real Uber driver later cancelled the journey after she had failed to show up. Other evidence previewed by prosecutors included phone tracking data and video footage that showed Nathaniel trying to use his victim's debit card and sell her cell phone. The suspect was charged with kidnapping, murder, and possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Despite everything, Nathaniel's family refused to believe that he was the killer and said that it could never have been him. Roland's father, Henry, said that his son realised his keys were missing the following day. He said, he checked his pockets when he woke up and he didn't have his keys, so he walked outside to try and find the vehicle. He found the vehicle, opened the door, saw his keys and saw all the blood inside the car. Trey Elmore, a cousin of Nathaniel's who lives in Texas, also said that the night of the kidnapping and killing of Samantha Josephson, Nathaniel had been passed out at a party, so it could not have been him driving. He said, "They only assumed that because he ran," referring to when Nathaniel ran from police when he was pulled over the next day. Up until the murder, the most serious crime that Nathaniel Roland had ever been accused of was selling a stolen PlayStation 4 to a pawn shop in the October prior. He was also fined for transporting alcohol in a motor vehicle in Sumter County and received a handful of speeding and seatbelt tickets. But Nathaniel had no record of violent crime, and this left friends and family wondering how this could have happened. Nathaniel had been enrolled at South Carolina State from 2014 to 2017. However, he had never graduated. Research shown that people who commit violent crimes could fall into two common categories: the predator or the opportunist. An opportunist may not be looking to kill, but if someone climbs into the back of their car, the opportunity has presented itself. During the second day of witness testimony in the trial at the Richland County Judicial Center in Columbia, a woman who was dating Nathaniel Roland at the time said that he was late to drive her to work the morning after Samantha's disappearance. Maria Howard said that after Nathaniel arrived to her home, she noticed blood inside the car and watched as he cleaned it whilst wearing surgical gloves. Maria also testified that she saw Nathaniel clean a knife-like tool that prosecutors have previously indicated was the murder weapon. She recalled Nathaniel telling her to mind her business when she asked about the blood. It was also discovered that Zion County, where Samantha's body was found, was actually Nathaniel Roland's hometown and where he had grown up. On June the 9th of 2020, in a virtual hearing, family members for both Samantha Josephson and Nathaniel Roland delivered statements in front of the judge. Suspected of the kidnapping and murder of Samantha, Nathaniel Roland was denied bond. On July the 20th of 2021, Nathaniel Roland's trial began. Following Samantha's death, South Carolina lawmakers introduced legislation that requires drivers to display license plates. They must show ID and say the names of passengers before they travel. On July the 27th of 2021, after over just 1 hour of deliberation, a jury found Nathaniel Roland guilty of kidnapping and murdering Samantha Josephson and possessing a weapon during a violent crime. He was sentenced to life in prison. After their daughter's death, Josephson's parents established the What's My Name Foundation. The foundation works to educate people about rideshare safety, along with supporting charitable foundations and awarding college scholarships. Samantha Josephson was awarded a posthumous political science degree in May of 2019 at what would have been her graduation ceremony.